Okay, folks, I wanted to do a very quick video just for this weekend. I'm putting it up on Friday. There'll be a very quick little Google Forms quiz for it that I want you to complete by Monday. And it's super easy. All I want to do is show you this quick slideshow telling you about the surface area of a sphere and the volume of a sphere. And we're just going to go straight up the gut with it. So the formula is this. When I have a sphere, the radius of that sphere extends in any direction, so it doesn't really matter where we draw it. We typically draw it in the middle like this, and once I know what that radius is, the surface area is this formula. It is 4 pi times the radius squared. Another time, in another way, we'll try to figure out exactly why that makes sense, but for today, I just want to give you some quick practice with the formula. So, here are some practice problems for you to try. Take a moment and pause the video. Try to do these 3 surface area problems. Okay, hopefully you took a couple of moments and tried those problems. We're going to just quickly go through them one at a time here. So again, the surface area formula is 4 pi times the radius squared. Since it's an area, we should expect that squared there. So that's one way to sort of remember this formula. Here, the radius is 20 feet. And so again, it's just a matter of substituting that radius in there of 20 into the formula. That's 400 times 4. That's 1600 pi. And I think I would just leave it in terms of pi for that surface area. That'll be 1600 pi square feet. So we're going to go ahead and write that, square feet. Again, if I am given the circumference, that's not the radius. So we've got to kind of backtrack. We know that the circumference formula is pi times the diameter. So that means that this 6 must be the diameter of this, and our radius is 3. You've got to do that thinking first before you can apply that radius into the surface area formula. Once we've got that, it is 4 pi times that 3 squared. 3 squared is 9 times 4 is 36. So our surface area here would be 36 pi. One last problem here. When we know the surface area, so our surface area formula is 4 pi times the radius squared. I know the surface area, so I'm going to substitute that surface area for the S. So I've got 30 pi equals 4 pi times the radius squared. And I'm going to go ahead and solve this algebraically to find out what that radius is. Now, immediately I can see that I can divide both sides by pi. That eliminates that. I can divide both sides by 4. So this is going to be 7.5 is equal to the radius squared. That means that radius is the square root of 7.5. And we could type that into a calculator and figure out what it is. I'm going to leave that to you guys to go ahead and get that decimal equivalent. That's not really that important to the lesson. The main thing I want you to see is that sometimes we have to solve backwards to find the radius as that missing piece. Now, when we're talking about spheres, the other thing that we oftentimes have to find out is the volume of a sphere. Very soon I'm going to be assigning you the monster project, and many parts of things that we model, human things, animal things, monsters being in that sort of category. Well, somebody's head might be modeled as a sphere. So we're going to want you to be able to find that volume when you do your monster project, which I should be assigning next week. So again, the formula here is 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Again, let's take a look at one. And again, I'm just going to go right to one of the sort of second level kind of problems here, because I think you guys are pretty good at applying formulas. Our formula here is volume is 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Now, in this problem, we have to first find out what that radius is. Again, this is the same problem that we did with the surface area on the previous slide here. Circumference is pi times the diameter. So this 6 is the diameter. That means our radius is 3. And now we can go ahead and plug that in to our volume formula. Pi times 3 to the third power. 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3. That's 27. So now I can write that in there. 4/3 times pi times 27. All of these things can be considered on the numerator of this whole big fraction. So we could actually write this as 4 times pi times 27 all over 3 times 1 times 1. So that's 3. This can simplify because 27 divided by 3 is 9. So we're simplifying both top and bottom by dividing by 3. Now on the numerator, all I have left is 9 times 4 times times pi. So that's 36 pi as the volume of that sphere. I'm going to have some quick questions in a Google form that are just like this. Volume of a sphere, surface area of a sphere. Hopefully you watch this video, then you take that Google form. I'll see you on Monday morning for class. Thanks. Have a great weekend.